Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to this brand new WWE action figure video. We're going to talk about real life heroes. This obviously is inspired by Shad and what happened the other week. We are going to start with that story. And I just want to say that this video is not monetized. But you can actually get a t-shirt right now from Collar and Elbow. 100% of the proceeds from that t-shirt will go to Shad's family. Of course, if you haven't heard, Shad sadly passing away the other week. And as we said, he is the inspiration for this video. So of course we're going to start with Shad. It's worth noting that Shad was in the WWE. He was in the tag team Crime Time. And in 2016, after he had left WWE, he actually stopped an armed robbery. So Shad saw and was approached by an intoxicated man, someone that was under the influence, with a gun. And he managed to wrestle this guy down to the ground and restrain him and prevent whatever was about to happen. Of course, the other amazing thing that Shad did was he was out swimming with his son, and they got drifted out to sea. He managed to throw his son to safety, and of course now we know that sadly Shad's life was lost, but he leaves us an absolute hero, an absolute inspiration. I think this has been a difficult one for the wrestling world to deal with, if you will. But you could add a Shad to your figure collection if you wanted this real life hero, because he has had a couple of WWE action figures. So we'll show them on screen right now. Battle Pack Series 3. Shad with his partner JTG, and also they do a fantastic Elite Series 6 with an awesome Crime Time t-shirt. It is worth noting that he was actually voted the 85th best wrestler in 2010, so great in ring, but even better out of the ring. Next up, we got to talk about John Cena. This man has done more wishes and granted more wishes than anyone else. It's over 600 wishes that he has granted now. One of those wishes is when he met Alex the Bulldog. Alex the Bulldog would actually make a figure for John Cena, and Mattel would actually make this on a limited run, so you can get this John Cena figure. Again, a percentage of the proceeds go to Make A Wish, I believe. And it was designed by Alex the Bulldog as part of a wish that he was granted. And I would say that every figure collection should have this figure. You can see the images on screen. It's worth mentioning as well, of course, that he won Sports Illustrated's Muhammad Ali Legacy Award for philanthropy. He's also promoted anti-bullying with a Rise Above Hate campaign, and actually they made a figure of that. I'll show you that one right here. You can see this Elite figure, Elite 17, with the Rise Above Hate. He's also supported Susan G. Komen, helped to promote Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and he did a whole Rise Above Cancer campaign as well. But sadly, Mattel haven't made a figure of that yet. Next on the list, we've got this man right here, Titus O'Neil, former football player, part of NXT Season 2, joined the Primetime Players, but honestly, probably the thing he'll most be remembered for is Titus World Slide in 2008 when he fell over and slipped under the ring. But he's done a lot of great work for charity. He's helped over 245 students actually get to college. He's led a lot of after-school programs. He's visited a lot of kids in hospitals, handed out loads of toys. He was Celebrity Dad of the Year for 2015. He is such a big part of the Tampa community that when they announced WrestleMania 36 was going to be in Tampa, they had Titus O'Neil be a part of the announcement. They actually brought him out and he stood and spoke on the podium and did the press conference because he is such a big part of that community. You can get a couple of figures of Titus O'Neil. Battle Pack 21, Battle Pack 39, and an unreleased Elite figure. This NXT figure did not get to see the light of day. We never got it. That line got cancelled, but Titus was going to be getting an NXT Elite figure. Next on the list, we've got D.H. Smith, the son of the British Bulldog. He actually helped a woman who claimed that she had a gun. He helped her, convinced her to not jump off a bridge. She obviously was, you know, at the end of her wits and just didn't know what to do. Yeah, she was going to commit suicide. She was going to jump. And apparently, like, he was driving. He saw someone trying to talk to this woman. He stopped the car, pulled over. He tried to speak to her. In the end, he grabbed her. And he said in interviews he didn't go for the clothes because he knew that she could slip out of those. So he tried to grab her and wrestled her down to the ground. And he says that it's one of the biggest kind of moments of his life, one of the biggest accomplishments of his life. He was just so grateful that he was able to be there and stop her from doing that. So really incredible. His greatest ever achievement. So you can get a couple of figures. Elite Series 7 you can get, and also Battle Packs 4 and 9. They all come with D.H. Smith figures in them. Next up, we've got Chris Masters. Chris Masters, in 2013, rescued his mom from a house fire. This is incredible. It was apparently started deliberately by the neighbour. Masters actually uprooted a 10-foot tree to break a window. And police were trying to gain access to the building, of course. Fire was billowing out and smoke was billowing out. And Chris Masters just ran in, grabbed his mom, managed to get her out and rescue her. He said it was absolutely incredible. He was on Good Morning America the very next day. It all started by this crazy next door neighbor. You can get a couple of Chris Masters figures. You can get Basic Series 8, and you can also get a Survivor Series Basic as well. Next on the list, we've got Bam Bigelow, one of the all-time greats, headlined a WrestleMania when he took on Lawrence Taylor. He noticed a house fire, a neighbor's house fire, and he knew that 3 children lived there. He managed to rush in and save them all. He did suffer second-degree burns over 40% of his body, and it took him 2 months to recover from the ordeal. But how incredible. What a hero. And you can get a couple of Bam Bam figures. They did Legends Series 5, and he comes with great entrance attire in that. And also Then, Now, Forever. I think that comes with like a few accessories and it looks really cool. I remember getting that figure, doing a review, and when I unboxed it, I dropped it straight away and broke the arm. So Bam Bam Bigelow does not have the best luck in the world, let's put it that way. Next up on the list, we've got Perry Saturn. Perry Saturn in 2004 saw a woman was being assaulted by 2 guys. He managed to confront the attackers and managed to save the woman, but sadly he was shot in the neck and shoulder. And as we said, the woman was saved, but Perry Saturn would actually struggle with the pain over the years that would follow. He got addicted to the medication and his whole life went on a downward spiral. Thankfully, he reappeared in 2010 and he'd managed to kind of get his life back together again. But it just shows like what one of those moments can do to someone's life. For quite a few years, he was in a very dark place following that. So, but still, an absolute hero. You can't get any Mattel figures of Perry Saturn, but you can get some very strange figures. There's one here of him wearing a dress. I believe this is connected to a match stipulation where the loser had to wear a dress, and for some reason decided to make a figure of that. You can get a more acceptable figure, a more conventional figure with this Heat figure that I think comes with like a really cool looking toolbox accessory. So Perry Saturn, an absolute legend. Next on the list, we've got Chuck Palumbo. This is amazing. In 2016, he was driving and he encountered a car that had flipped over. The driver was pinned underneath and was going in and out of consciousness. Apparently, the arm was trapped under the car, body against the steering wheel. Chuck Palumbo lifted a car, picked the car up so that he could free this woman. And he says as soon as the fire brigade arrived, he drove away. He didn't really want to stick around answering questions. So you can get some great Chuck Palumbo figures. Billy and Chuck, the Unchained Fury set, and Chuck and Michelle McCool, an Adrenaline set as well. So I think there's more than that, but yeah, you can get a few Chuck Palumbo Jakks figures. Next on the list, we've got Bray Wyatt, and I've got to be honest, I didn't even know about this story until I was doing research for this video. But apparently Bray Wyatt was driving with Shad's tag partner, JTG, and someone actually swiped the side of their vehicle. They were fine, and they decided to follow this car because of how reckless it was driving. And they actually watched as the car flipped over 6 or so times. JTG actually called 911. Bray pulled a young girl out of the vehicle who apparently was severely injured. And then Bray and JTG pulled the driver out. And the driver was saying, "My dad's going to kill me." I honestly don't know what happened to the people in that incident, in that accident. I didn't even know about that incident and accident, but there we go. Bray Wyatt rescuing some people along with JTG from a flipped over car. Of course, you can get some great Bray figures. The Fiend Elite 77 is on the way. If you want one of his older figures, though, Elite Series 54 looks absolutely awesome. The final real-life hero we're going to talk about is Diamond Dallas Page, DDP. He developed DDP Yoga after rupturing his L4 and L5 discs in 1998, and he discovered yoga's benefits. Arthur Borman, who was a disabled war veteran, was told he would never walk again. 15 years on crutches he had spent. After 10 months of working with DDP and DDP Yoga, he was able to walk and run unassisted. As well as that, Jake the Snake Roberts, who we know has had a lot of trouble, a lot of health problems. Scott Hall, again, a lot of trouble, a lot of health problems, a lot of addictions. They have used DDP Yoga and just DDP as a friend to help them kind of recover and get onto a better path. And you see that relationship now with Jake and DDP in AEW. And just how close they still are. So DDP has done a lot of good for a lot of people. I know that the likes of Shawn Michaels, I believe Kurt Angle, honestly the list is endless as to the amount of people that actually have used DDP Yoga. I think there's a form of it that's used at the Performance Center for all of the trainees. So it's absolutely incredible what he was able to achieve with that and how many people he has been able to help. If you want a DDP figure, there's loads, but the Mattel ones, you can get like some basics, but there's a Legends Elite that's a little expensive. You can actually get the same figure in Elite 36, they just slightly changed some of the colours. But Elite 36 is probably the cheaper way of getting a DDP Mattel figure. And that's it, guys. Obviously, we could have spoke about loads of other people. Loads of superstars do a lot of charity work behind the scenes. We could have spoke about like Daniel Bryan and Stephanie McMahon and Connor's Cure. We could have spoke about all the work that The Rock did. But I just kind of thought that these were quite interesting examples. So that's why I went with these 10 for this video. So hope you enjoyed it. Some are a little bit different. Certainly some stories in there that I didn't know about until I was researching this. So, yeah, again, some interesting stuff. Awesome, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. And hopefully I see you again next time. Bye for now.